So, what the fuck just happened? You're probably aware of what went down on this recent episode of SmackDown. You had Cody Rhodes coming into the building with a decision to make. He won the recent Royal Rumble, his second in a row. He's the first guy to have done that since Stone Cold, winning back to back Royal Rumbles. And he had to decide which champion he would challenge at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title or Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal title. And prior to this Monday, that seemed like the easiest decision ever because of everything that we've been watching as fans throughout the past 2 years. When Cody Rhodes came back to the WWE, he said, I have a specific story that I'm trying to finish. I am trying to win the title that my dad never officially won. And if you track the lineage, it's the WWE Universal title that Roman's holding. Sure, there's been a lot of unifications and blah, 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 but that title, again, if you track the lineage, is the title that Dusty Rhodes never won. Apart from that belt, WrestleMania 39 happened. Cody Rhodes even said this at the press conference after the Rumble. WrestleMania 39 happened to where it's not just the belt he's going after, it's the belt and Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns cheated him last year at WrestleMania, and therefore what was originally just him going after a wrestling championship has become personal. At the Rumble, once Cody won, he pointed to Roman Reigns in the skybox and said, I choose you, or something to that effect. And then at the press conference, he said, I loved that Roman was in the skybox because we can make that clear that I'm going after him. But then Monday happens. Not even a full 48 hours removed from the Rumble, and Seth Rollins comes out and basically begs Cody Rhodes to choose him instead, like we're in a romantic comedy, like My Best Friend's Wedding or something. And he makes, admittedly, a good case about how Roman's a part-timer, the champion has now just become the Hollywood title, the politicking title, whereas the World Heavyweight title is the title that Dusty Rhodes would have actually wanted because it's the working man's title and all that kind of stuff. And Cody said, I'll think about it, leading into the Saturday. And you go, okay, a little bit of drama, whatever. And then SmackDown happens. Cody confronts Roman and says, the title you're holding is the title that I want. It's the title my dad never got. And you cheated me, and I'm coming after you. Just not at WrestleMania. And then The Rock comes out. And then Cody just leaves. And now we get The Rock versus Roman in the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. And I assume Cody versus Seth in the main event of Night 1. Okay. I have a lot to say about this, and none of it's good. There are so many issues that this presents on so many levels. Let's start with the biggest one. From a storyline perspective, it makes no sense. I can't think of a reason why Cody Rhodes would not challenge Roman Reigns for that rematch at WrestleMania 40. It's the match that we've been setting up since last year's WrestleMania, when Cody lost and everybody thought it was a terrible decision. The one caveat was, if he wins at WrestleMania 40, it'll all have been worth it. And now we're in a situation where he's just not going after the title. Just doesn't want to. That's the storyline that has been presented to us, that Cody had 100% of the power to make the choice that he wanted to make, and he chose not to go after Roman. That storyline reasoning is bullshit. They gave us one promo between Seth and Cody on Monday that set up potential interest that Cody might have in the World Heavyweight title. And they're expecting that promo to basically overpower the entire past year of work that Cody has done trying to get to Roman's title. And, listen, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but if you're looking at the footage when Cody lets The Rock take his WrestleMania spot and they have like a, predator kind of handshake moment and a hug, and then Cody just leaves, you can tell he's not enthused. You can tell he's holding back some tears. At the time of this recording, the full segment video that they uploaded to YouTube is WWE's most disliked YouTube video of all time. It has like 50 to 70,000 likes and 200 to 220,000 dislikes. It's ridiculous, the amount of backlash that they got. And by all accounts, this is what they're sticking to, because this Thursday there's going to be a WrestleMania kickoff event, and The Rock and Roman are going to be there, and Cody and Seth are going to be there to presumably announce their match for the World Heavyweight title. And it's one of those things where a couple weeks ago, WrestleMania 40 was looking like one of the best WrestleManias ever. And not even a full 2 weeks later, it's looking pretty underwhelming, I'll say. Okay, so how did we get here? Per Dave Meltzer and PW Insider and a lot of other wrestling journalists, it's being reported that this all stemmed from CM Punk's injury. That after Punk got injured, they needed somebody for Seth. And The Rock, reportedly, was the one pushing for his match with Roman Reigns to happen, because he thought it would save WrestleMania in light of Punk and Brock not being on the card. Brock for obvious, horrific legal reasons. Punk just for an injury. The reports also say that it wasn't meant to kick Cody out of the main event spot. It was just meant to kind of give respect to The Rock in his new official TKO board of directors position, and kind of respect that partnership. Here's the thing. If you're The Rock, why would you do this? It makes you look so bad. It makes you look like such an egomaniac. 10 years ago, CM Punk, other than John Cena, was the biggest thing in WWE. And he was on the cover of the video game. And then right before WrestleMania, Rock comes in and steals his main event. Almost 10 years later, to the day, Cody Rhodes, other than Roman Reigns, is the biggest thing in WWE. He was on the cover of the video game. And right before WrestleMania, The Rock comes back to steal his main event. You can't make this shit up. And I should be clear, I want to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I think that is the biggest match WWE could put on. I think it is a dream match. But you need a good story to lead into matches, because if you don't, nobody cares. And this story that they've chosen to do, which is basically just The Rock showed up, pushed everyone to the side and said, "Hey, Roman, I'm fighting you now," is quite possibly the worst thing they could have done, for a multitude of reasons. One, you're making Cody look like a fucking idiot. He has all of the Royal Rumble powers to choose which opponent he faces at WrestleMania, and he chooses to give it up to a part-timer? He chooses to go after the guy with the fucked up knee, who he's already beaten 3 times, for a belt that didn't even exist a year ago. This entire past week of WWE programming between, Seth and Cody and Roman and Rock, it feels like nobody's on the same page. Everyone's just saying shit. Seth Rollins cuts this promo on Roman Reigns saying how he's a part-timer. The belt has become the Hollywood belt, the politicking belt. And then Roman Reigns buries Seth Rollins and the World Heavyweight title completely on this recent episode of SmackDown. He calls it the title of the loser's bracket. He says that Seth isn't the guy and never was the guy. And he says that if Cody goes after Seth, he's effectively going after being the number 2 guy in the company. And then Cody still chooses that. If this was the plan all along, why would Roman say that? Why would he even be allowed to say that? Because now Cody versus Seth looks like the most pathetic WrestleMania main event ever. It looks like the consolation prize of all consolation prizes. Because, one, the title is a consolation prize. That's how it came to be. And Cody's literally only going after it because The Rock's back. He's on the board of directors of TKO, and he can politic his way to get this shot. It doesn't make any sense. Another thing that doesn't make any sense is Triple H always loves saying, "Oh, I'm not afraid to take my time. I'm not afraid to let things build for the right moment. We don't rush things here. Roman Reigns has said multiple times that we don't cook McDonald's anymore with our bloodline story. We cook filet mignons. We cook amazing, well-developed, Oscar-level storylines. The Rock was being interviewed on ESPN recently. He was asked about a match with Roman, and he said, you know me, I'm a long gamer, I'm a builder. So all three of these guys are saying, oh yeah, we like to build things out over a long period of time. And then this last minute decision happens in a matter of a week. And now the main storyline that has been built up to since last year's WrestleMania has been effectively killed or put on hold indefinitely. From a storyline perspective, this was a completely stupid decision because The Rock versus Roman, in the people's eyes, has now become Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar WrestleMania 20. For those of you that don't know, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar main evented WrestleMania 20. It was a big money match. Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, they're huge names. It's going to be this amazing event. And what happened was, prior to that WrestleMania, it was revealed that both guys would be leaving the company basically right after that WrestleMania. Brock was going to go try to be in the NFL, and Goldberg just wasn't happy working for WWE. He wanted to leave the company. Fans caught wind of this. Fans knew about it. And that match was squandered with boos and hey, goodbye chants the entire time. Go watch the videos on YouTube if you haven't already. Fans were not having it, and it was supposed to be the biggest match possible. Rock versus Roman is now in that same position. The 200,000 dislikes on the YouTube video that they posted are indicative of that. So again, if you're The Rock, why would you do this? Because you look like an egomaniac. You look like someone who just politicked your way to the main event, pushed other people to the side, just so you could get this money match that now nobody wants to see because there has been no storyline building up to it. And I'm not saying that Rock versus Roman doesn't need the title on the line. I actually think it's more compelling with the title on the line as opposed to just being a grudge match. But if this was the game plan all along, why not have The Rock return at the Royal Rumble at number 30, win that, and then challenge Roman Reigns? But the fact that, no, The Rock just came back, that's your main event, it completely diminishes the importance of Cody Rhodes, his entire story, the Royal Rumble. You know The Rock's going to go out on all these interviews saying how, oh, this is the biggest WrestleMania ever, blah, blah, blah. It was already going to be the biggest WrestleMania ever. They sold 60,000 tickets across both nights within a month of tickets going on sale. WWE, from a financial standpoint, is hotter now than it's ever been. Listen, the reports are saying that Rock wanted to save WrestleMania. It appears that he might have just killed it because nobody is liking this Rock versus Roman match. And I don't think that's how Triple H and the rest of the higher-ups wanted to get there. When you have Rock versus Roman Reigns, you want people excited for that match. Nobody's excited for it now. There's also reports going around that Cody will win the World Heavyweight title from Seth Rollins and then go on to have a unification match between him and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Oh my fucking God. If that happens, you would not have buried Cody Rhodes, but you would have effectively buried Seth Rollins, because that would mean that his title is just the Seth Rollins title. It was a title made for Seth Rollins to hold for a year. He lost it, and then they unified it with Roman Reigns' title. That would be a terrible decision. So where do we go from here? It seems like at the moment, WWE is sticking to their plan, which they just came up with 48 hours ago, and they're doing Roman versus Rock and Cody versus Seth. If there's enough fan backlash, I could see Cody being added to that match and it being a triple threat. I don't see Cody versus Roman happening at Elimination Chamber, although that's an option. Honestly, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But when it comes down to what I think they're going to do at the moment, given what they've presented us with on SmackDown, it seems like we're getting Rock versus Roman, Cody versus Seth. There's your simple answer. We're done. What do I hope will happen? I don't think you're going to see Cody versus Roman in a singles match whatsoever now. I think with The Rock inserting himself into the equation, that singles rematch is off the table. I think you could see it be a triple threat. You could see it be a repeat of WrestleMania 30, where Daniel Bryan was inserted into Batista versus Randy Orton. I could see that. Although I do think they want Cody pinning Roman clean in the ring. 1, 2, 3, no interference, no triple threat. They want it to be one-on-one to cement him as the guy, which he already is the guy. Cody Rhodes is the guy. But yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. None of them seem particularly exciting. I don't really want Cody to win it at the Elimination Chamber from Roman. That wouldn't make sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because if Cody challenges Roman at Elimination Chamber, then him versus Seth would be a unification match, which that doesn't make sense to do. And I really think if they stayed a course the way that they're staying the course right now, I think they're really setting up for a disaster. I think The Rock is going to start getting a lot of boos, and I don't think that's what anyone wants. It's also disheartening because there is almost a 0% chance that The Rock is going to win. So Roman will retain either till SummerSlam or WrestleMania 41. And that's exhausting to me. When Cody lost at WrestleMania 39, he was a part of some storylines throughout the year. He feuded with Brock Lesnar, then he feuded with the Judgment Day and was a part of the War Games match, and then Shinsuke. All of those have been filler feuds. It's just been him killing time until we could get back to him versus Roman. Are you telling me you're going to do that again? Like, okay, Cody, go feud with Drew McIntyre. Oh, Punk's back from injury. Go feud with him for a little bit. Like, yeah, you'll get some big matches. I think the gamble that they're playing with is maybe Cody will be even bigger at WrestleMania 41 or SummerSlam 2024. But at this point, I think that's a gamble because while Cody's getting bigger, the Bloodline story is not. The Bloodline story, in my opinion, post WrestleMania 39, has been immensely disappointing. The Bloodline Civil War thing was fun enough, but man, Roman's not on TV a lot. His match with Jay was a bore. His match with LA Knight was a bore. The Fatal 4-Way was disappointing. All of this really makes you think they should have had Cody win at WrestleMania 39. So yeah, I just wanted to vent about all this. It certainly was not the direction I wanted to go. Again, I like the idea of Rock versus Roman, just not this way. Because the setup, I think, was poor. I think they treated their top babyface as a joke, and I think with him choosing the consolation prize over the prize that he's always wanted, that he can so readily choose, it makes Cody look like a fool. It makes The Rock look like a politicking shark with a big ego. And worst of all, hype for WrestleMania 40 has pretty much dissipated at the moment because it feels like the fans have lost, so to speak. It feels like the thing that we were told that we were getting, that we're behind, is not happening for a business reason, not a storyline reason. I also think that visual of The Rock literally coming down, shaking Cody's hand, whispering something in his ear, and then basically shooing him off is okay, rant done. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, hopefully this storyline can blossom into an awesome Rock versus Roman program. Hopefully Cody versus Seth can feel like maybe the people's main event because it's so big, and maybe they just talk everyone into the room and they make it feel like this major event. I can't lie though, I'm a bit cautious at the moment. I'm a bit unenthused by our WrestleMania options. And do we think The Rock versus Roman's actually going to be a good match? Obviously, it's going to be a great program with some great promos, but do we really think they're going to have the crowd in the palm of their hands like Rock versus Hogan and Rock versus Cena did because of all the Cody Rhodes drama? I don't know.